Hey guys, Jeff Cavalier, AthleanX.com. Not in the gym, in the kitchen again, because I want to show you something I think will be very helpful. A lot of guys will write in and they'll ask, how do you structure your day in terms of eating? Because I find myself being without options and having to eat whatever's available. And I will agree that is probably the biggest way to fail on an eating plan, is to be stuck eating whatever's just available. So preparation is key, and I want to show you something that, if I'm getting ready to leave for a day, how very simple this can be to prepare yourself. And I'm going to show you how it's going to last me the entire day with just a few quick, simple things. So the first thing I'm going to, like today, I'm going to have cereal for lunch. Now, that's not maybe what your choice would be. I like it, and then we've talked about the cashew golean cereal and how it's got 14 or 15 grams of protein per serving. That's key. So for me, sometimes I like to have that, and that's an option. So if I'm going to have that for the day, what I do is I just take a little Tupperware thing here, whatever. This is my bowl, and I take out my cashew golean. I actually have Heart to Heart too, which is another cashew cereal. I just mix them. But I'm doing this in real time because I want to show you how fast it can be to just get your lunch ready, really your whole day ready, to be out the door. So anybody that says that they don't have time to do this, they're lying. So now that's that. Okay? Now I have just a little case here. I know it's kind of ridiculous looking, but it serves a purpose. So I put that in here. I'm going to get some skim milk for the day. So an emptied out Poland Spring bottle. I just pour the milk in here without it getting all over the counter. Okay? Make sure that the lid is not warped from before. Okay? I'm going to keep that so that it all stays in there. And keep that, put that in there. Greek yogurt. I love this. So this is the Chobani yogurt. It's Chobani Zero, so no fat in it, but a lot of protein, good source of protein. Put that in here. Okay? Then the key for everything, I have a bunch of these things in the freezer here, just these little freeze packs that you can get anywhere, very inexpensive. This thing will stay all day, so I'm going to throw it in here, and don't forget your spoon, because it's tough to eat all that stuff without it. Now, almost done. That covers us for lunch. Now I want to have that mid-afternoon snack, so for me it's always usually a bar. We talked about that before, a pure protein bar. There's a lot of good ones out there. There's a lot of crappy ones out there. This one happens to be good nutritionally. I throw that in here as well. So zip all that up, and I don't know how long that took me, probably 2 minutes. That's all said and done. Now I want to show you something. Come on over here for a second so I can show you what we just did. Can you see this? What we have here is a schedule. Now this is a rough schedule. We talk about how important it is to eat every 2.5 to 3 hours or so. Sometimes you have to extend it a little bit later in the day. But I just chose some random times here. But what I want to show you what you just accomplished. If you eat right before you go out the door, sort of soon before you go out the door, you just covered your breakfast. You're not going to have to eat again to 2.5, 3, maybe even 3.5 hours later. So let's say lunchtime. Well, we just packed our lunch, so we're covered with the lunch. Now, this is actually going to go a little bit later in the day, probably let's say 3 or 3:30. That's where we're going to have our bar. Now we don't have to worry about eating again until another 2.5, 3.5 hours later, which will put us at even maybe 6:30 or 7 or so. So what I want to show you is that by making this one little pack up, we've brought ourselves from not having to worry about eating from 8:30 in the morning until at least 6 at night, sometimes even 7 at night. So that alone, that little pack of preparation has covered our entire day. We're not going to be left guessing and having to take something that we don't want to have. So guys, I hope you find that valuable. A little bit of preparation goes a long way. And that said, the AthleanX meal plans are full of already prepared stuff, so you don't have to think about this. You know, you may be sitting there going, well, I don't like cereal, so what else am I going to have? And that's where I kind of came in and took the lead. We have everything there in the meal plans, over 40 options for snacks, 40 options for breakfast and lunch. If you can't find something within those 40 options for all those meals, then I don't know what you'd eat. But you can absolutely find anything, and it's very simple, all the same way, very simple, easy to prepare things and things that you can take with you anywhere. So guys, if you haven't already, even for the meal plans alone, the AthleanX training system is incredible. I really believe that. So if you haven't gotten it yet, head over to athleanx.com, grab the meal plans, and oh, by the way, get all the 90-day training program too, with all the workouts, the conditioning, the strength work, everything you need to get into the best body that you can be. Guys, we'll be back here again next week, probably most likely back in the gym, although I know you guys like these nutrition tips and videos too, so I'll keep these coming also. I'll talk to you later.